Hi, everyone. Good afternoon, good evening, good morning, depending on where you're connecting from today. Well, today I'm surrounded by two amazing professionals and human beings. I have the pleasure to have today to interview Sally and Lara, and yeah, it's going to be great. It's going to be great. So, hello both. Yeah, how are you doing today?
Good, thank you. Hope everybody's well.
Yeah. I mean, this is the first time doing a interview to people at the same time. So see how we can manage to do it.
Okay.
Yeah, it's gonna be fun. It's gonna be fun. So yeah, let's wait a couple of seconds and then we can introduce ourselves. Yeah, for everyone to know. But just last quick intro. Well, this is the second episode or session, or how you want to call it, of the thrive with marketing, and then we are going to be running different interview sessions with marketing professionals and business owners to discuss about all things marketing, all things business, and how we can help you grow your business with ideas, tactics, and stories, and just making a little bit fun as well, if possible. And yeah, let's crack on then. If you're ready for it. So I like to always. Yeah, ready? I like to always start with a little introduction. If you could, Sally or Lara, whoever wants to take the lead first and start, if you'd like to introduce yourselves and explain what you do, and yeah.
Okay. Bro, shall I go first, Lara?
If you'd like to.
Yeah. Hi, everyone. My name's Sally Greaves. I've been in marketing for over 15 years now. My background's quite varied, actually. I worked in an advertising agency for 5 years and gained a lot of experience from working in an advertising agency. And then I decided to go client side, working in various marketing roles for a big global brewer where I met Lara. And I also went on to work for a packaging company before deciding to leave and to work with Lara on Lara marketing. So, yeah, that's a little bit about me.
Brilliant. Lara, your turn.
Over to me. So, my turn. So, I'm Lara. I'm the owner of Lara Denny Marketing and co-founder of Lara Marketing with Sally. Like Sal, I've been in the industry for over 15 years. I've worked for a number of different corporate brands, and it was working with these bigger brands that made me realise what my passion was, which was actually supporting SMEs with their marketing. I just found it so much more rewarding because the impact that you could have was so much greater. And yeah, 15 years down the line, I've loved it ever since. I also teach for the Chartered Institute of Marketing, which sounds very posh, I know. And I guess we've all had our ups and downs in life, so we've all been through, things. But for me, losing my dad 4 years ago, just before I was getting married, was the real, I guess, eye-opener for me of why I wanted to go self-employed. So it's something that I've always wanted to do from a young age. I just never really went for it. So when my dad passed away, this was just something that really made me see life differently and made me realise that actually you have to do what makes you happy. And from that day onwards, I really, pushed the business, and I'm so glad that I did it. And there's so many exciting things ahead. I mean, Sally and I have worked together for absolute years now. We're really good friends. We complement each other so well. And we met at Molson Coors, like Sal said, but we both studied our Chartered Institute of Marketing together as well. And I think the both of us, we've got not just our background and our experience, but the different kind of personalities and the way that we deal with clients and look at them in a different perspective, we bring so much to the table. And, you know, what we do is we provide marketing freelance services for SMEs across the UK. And it's something that we love doing. And there's so many exciting things ahead, isn't there, Sal? We've got some great ambitious goals. And it's so rewarding working with, you know, so many different clients, and the rewards that it brings is just, it's fantastic. So, yeah, that's a bit about me as well.
Brilliant. Well, first of all, thanks for the great introduction. I mean, I love, about obviously, you know, professionals like you, Sally and Lara, that, you know, they want to do things because they're passionate about. They want to help others as well, and especially, you know, make an impact in smaller businesses, not as big businesses or big corporate. And you say, as you know, you do your job, you enjoy what you do, and then you are at the same time you kind of make an impact on those companies, and those companies helping people at the same time. So which is great, and it's what I think is what we all get up in the mornings with some excitement, and it's what it drive us, right, to do things. So that's amazing. Thanks both. My next question is about how did you get into marketing? You kind of like responded to that one in some ways.
Yeah.
Then I would say like it's obviously because of the passion, and then but why? Lara mentioned something that you complement each other really well. So why is the reason why you decided to join together? Is it how is that been going so far?
Well, we've been working together on the business side of things for around about 6 months now, and it's been a crazy 6 months, but a good crazy 6 months. You know, we're working with lots of different clients. I mean, for me personally, the one thing that I love about marketing is the fact that you can be really creative. You know, every day we're being bombarded with lots of different messages, all trying to, you know, vie for our attention. And it's trying to be creative and unique and have that standout that sort of breaks through the clutter. So that's what I love about marketing. And I've really enjoyed working with Lara and all these different clients, you know, different industries that are all striving to, you know, to do really well with their marketing. And hopefully with us on board, we're helping to drive their marketing plans forward, which has been great.
Definitely. And just on from that, I mean, for me, it started years ago. I mean, my dad, he's always been in the business world. He had a very successful career. A lot of my family members did. And I always knew from a young age that it was the business route that I wanted to take. And I'm one of 3 siblings. And it's really funny because the couple of them will always say, like, oh, it's Lara that will go into business when she's older and she'll have her own business. And they were right at the end of the day. So I've always kind of had it in me that I wanted to do something in business. So I did at A-level, I did like a business course. And within that, marketing was the one of all the modules that I did that really stood out. Because it was the one where it was so much more exciting, so much more creative. And, you know, I've always been interested in brands and what they're doing and adverts and the different, I love this, going to the cinema and things like that and seeing just the adverts on that. Me and my husband used to go early just to watch the adverts, which I know is really quite sad, really. But yeah, so, I mean, Sal and I have, throughout our career of working together, we've just got on so well. And as I was saying before, I remember when we were doing our Chartered Institute of Marketing, and there was we had quite a small group of us that we got, you know, we were teaming up and helping each other with the assignment and things. And we all said, what do we want to do? And I remember saying, I want to go self-employed and have my own business. That's what I want to do. And then Sally said, oh my gosh, that's exactly what I want to do. So we were both really excited with that. And it was from that day that we decided, okay, that's that's what we're going to strive and aim towards doing. So, and I'm glad we did, because since Sal joined 6 months ago, it's gone from strength to strength. I've gone from working on my own to working with Sal, and now we've just taken on Tash as well. So we've got a nice little team, but it's just been so nice as well, just sharing ideas, adding more value to our clients, and just giving them a above and beyond experience, really, because we can offer so much more to them now.
Yeah, absolutely. And in terms of like obviously working with partners and with the team, obviously you can always support each other first and more importantly is supporting each other, because if any business owner listening at the moment, and they know how hard it is, especially when you work for yourself, have lots of work to do, but then if you are on your own, you don't have the support. In this case, you both supporting each other, you forming a team, and then building a team. And in 6 months, it's amazing that you achieve what you achieve. So I just see it's gonna, that this is gonna grow and grow. So amazing. So let's get into the marketing stuff, because people be like, okay, I want to know these tactics, how this, all the tricks and hacks and everything. From we're not going to sell everything today, that's for sure, because they will have to pay for it. That's for sure. But we're gonna. We know obviously there are some challenges that most business owners face when it comes to like running their marketing, and obviously they're building the marketing strategy, because there are many misconceptions in terms of like, marketing strategy, tactics, whatever. And we know that more than 50% of business owners, they don't really have a marketing strategy in place, or even more than 50. I mean, we say 60, 70. Yeah, they just trying different tactics and see how it goes without analyzing and putting pieces together and making it properly work. So what are the main challenges that you think or you come across that business owners have, when it comes to like marketing strategy?
I think you've just touched on it actually, Tony, because we've found that, with the SMEs, many of them don't have a marketing and brand strategy in place. Like you say, they're thinking very tactical, or we'll do some social media posts. They're not thinking necessarily the bigger strategic picture of why is it what we're doing is what I'm trying to say is why we're doing what we're doing, thinking about the bigger picture. So that's been a challenge, but it could also be the fact that they don't know how to approach it, what to consider with a brand strategy, what are the different elements that we need to take in consideration. So I think that's another challenge, is how do we approach this?
And they tend to be, because they don't have that plan or the brand strategy, which essentially is your starting point. So if you don't have that, everything you do tactically is just not going to work, or it's going to be a mess. And I guess a lot of our clients, what we're finding is that they're being inconsistent with their messaging. They're trying to say far too much. They're trying to target too many customers. And actually, having a plan and a brand strategy is all about really fine-tuning that, simplifying it, but being different as well, and being consistent the way that you talk to your customer. Because at the end of the day, what we need to do is target the right product or service with the right customer at the right time. So to do this, you've just got to have your marketing plan and brand strategy in place. And now another challenge that I find with a lot of clients is they focus solely on acquisition, when actually retention, it can bring you so much more revenue in if you think about the retention side. If you go above and beyond to give your customers the best experience so that they go no one else, actually you're going to make more money, you're going to make more profit from your existing customers. So a lot of clients just think that it's all about going after new customers, but actually it's a lot harder, because you have to warm them up, you have to build that relationship, you have to build them trust, when actually you're probably sitting on a gold mine with the customers you've already got.
Yeah.
And that, as well as, I mean, really emphasising on the point that, as Sal and you have said, all our clients, every inquiry we get in is tactical. They want social media, they want a website, they want this, they want that. And actually, we turn around and say, no, you don't. You need a brand strategy, because it's that, again, that strategic view and assessing the why that you're doing everything really impacts everything that you do going forward, like your social media. So we see it time and time again, don't we?
Yeah, we do. You know, it's got to be aligned. Your brand strategy has got to be aligned with your tactical plan.
Definitely. I couldn't agree more with what you both said. I mean, in terms of like main challenge, I mean, if they don't have a marketing strategy, they is more willing they're going to struggle to invest their money in. They're not going to optimize the budget. They're not going to get the result they are expecting. Then in terms of when it comes to running a business, you know, it's all about the numbers, right? You can have an amazing shop or an amazing clinic, but then if the numbers don't work, you're going to end up closing the business. You're going to end up losing money, or you're going to end up not building what you wanted to build. So starting from that, I mean, if you don't create something that is going to help you to make your business work, you're going to end up failing. Then the other point on branding, if you have a or a clinic or brand or whatever product or shop you're running with a specific brand, with a specific values or mission, but you don't actually represent or show that with your marketing or how you express or communicate with your people, it's just not going to work.
No.
And on the top of that, then saying that when you do what I like when Lara mentioned as well, you only focus on acquisition, then I get more business, but then your service is crap. So you are acquiring more clients to offer a bad service that you are maybe communicating that you are really good at something or the leader on something. It's not going to work. You won't retain your clients. Those clients won't bring you more clients. So it's about aligning or putting together all the pieces of the puzzle, the marketing strategy with the branding, with your service, with all together, and make it work. It doesn't necessarily need to be like investing in every tactic possible, SEO, PPC, blah, blah, blah. It's investing in what you can afford or what can work for you. It's about doing it in the right way, with the right strategy, right? So
you're right. Yeah, because a lot of people just see marketing as being creative and being tactical, but actually marketing's like a process, and it's you have to follow the process in order to like achieve your goals and head in the right direction. So Tony, as you were saying, so many of our clients they were doing some marketing, but they weren't even looking at how that was performing. So how do you know if it's worked or not? You need to set, KPIs, you need to set yourself objectives, and then you need to be continuously looking at them and seeing if, have you achieved them? Have you not? Why haven't you? What do we need to do differently?
I think as well, when you look at your marketing plan and your strategy, it needs to be aligned to your business plan. So as a business, what are we trying to achieve? What are our goals? And then look at your marketing plan, because marketing is going to help you deliver that business plan. So it's all got to be aligned. It's like Lara said, it's a process. What's your business plan? And then look at your marketing and strategic plan.
I think that answers my next question, actually. Next question is going to be more like those mentalities. How would you recommend or advise those business owners? Okay, how you tackle this, how you make it work, how you face those challenges, overcome them.
Yeah,
I think having a plan is the main thing, isn't it? Which we want to get to, which we can look into a bit more depth. But essentially, having a plan, it's thinking about assessing the now, where you are at the moment, what's happening. Is there anything that's influencing you as a business, or could influence your performance going forward? from that, you can set where you want to be. So you set your goals, your objectives. What do you want to achieve? Make them really smart and realistic and achievable. And then from that, you can think about how you're going to get there. So which channels are going to help you to reach the right target audience? Make sure that you're specific. Simplify your message. Think about your brand. And then lastly, it's keep on assessing. So how do you know if you've got there? How do you know if you've achieved those objectives? You need to just continuously keep looking at the results and seeing what you can do to improve. I mean, yeah, there's a lot of customers that don't think about the improvement. And that is one thing that we try and challenge our customers, and we challenge ourselves every day. I mean, if you take one of the biggest brands, I mean, just think of an example, Blockbuster. What happened to Blockbuster as a brand? Blockbuster went into liquidation, unfortunately. Now, they knew the home video watching to a T. But then the likes of Netflix, you had Love Films, Amazon Prime. So streaming became available. Blockbuster, times. As a result, unfortunately. So that's just a massive example of you need to always be moving and assessing how you can, what's happening externally. Is there any new technology coming out? COVID, how has that impacted your business? Is it in a positive way, in a negative way? What can you do to really be agile and keep in line with your customer wants and needs? So it's a continuous journey, I think.
Yeah. I think as well, right now, we're at the mid-year point. So if you haven't got a marketing plan or a strategy in place, now is a great time, to take a step back and think about, why are we in business? What are our goals, so that you can make the most of the second half of 2021. So if you haven't got a plan, my recommendation is do one, definitely, to help your business.
Get your plan together. And I was going to say, get your shit together. So it's about that, right? It's true. So it's your business, and if you care about it, you should have a plan. And then they explain it very well, Lara and Sally. I know some people have been joining and leaving and joining the live, and you could say hello, drop a comment, any questions. We'll be happy to answer the questions during the session or afterwards. I mean, if you're watching the replay, just drop a comment and say hello, and we're connecting. Any questions on your marketing strategy or branding strategy or anything related to your marketing. So, talking about marketing, obviously. I tend to specialize in healthcare. I know you work in some healthcare projects as well, and this group obviously focuses on healthcare, mainly healthcare marketing. But then I will ask you, do you think it's different, the marketing for healthcare? Do you feel or do you see any differences or anything that could be main, like something to stand out or highlight from generic marketing and healthcare businesses?
I mean, for me, not really. I think the principles of marketing are the same. So whether you're in the healthcare industry or any other industry, it's, the principles are the same. Your techniques that you might try might be slightly different from industry to industry, but it's trying to find what works for you and your business. You may have to do a lot of testing. Like Lara said earlier, you've got to measure, to see how successful it is. And if it isn't working, let's try something new. So it's finding what's right for you and your business and making sure that the message resonates well with your target audience.
Yeah, no, I'd agree with you there. And I think for me, working with, within the industry, I've found that as part of your brand proposition and your tone of voice, a lot of the time within the industry, you need to adopt more of a caring, supportive kind of nature to the communications that you're putting out there. But apart from that, similar to other organizations and other industries, it's all about putting your stamp on things. So how can you be positioned in the market differently to what your competition is doing, which is another thing that I find a lot of clients always do. They'll often see what competition is doing and think, oh, we want to do the same as them, which is good, but we want to try and encourage you to think one step further and think, okay, how do we do that bigger and better? So again, it's thinking about how you position yourself differently. But as Sal said, I think the way that you approach your brand, the process of going through your brand strategy, of thinking about, what your mission is, what the vision is, what you stand for as a business, what your value proposition is. So how you do things differently. That's kind of the same process that you'd follow. But it's just about putting your own stamp on things and working out how you can just do things differently, but better. And in a creative way that really resonates with your audience.
Absolutely right. I mean, obviously, healthcare. I mean, every sector has different challenges, right? So healthcare, the challenge is obviously in some ways, if you don't show that you're a company that cares for people, you're human, and that human factor of showing people on your website, on your marketing, your communication, that you really care about people, you're human. There are people behind the project and everything. That thing is probably the main challenge, comparing with other maybe like not as. But these days, as you say, every single business is in need of that. It's in need of represent and communicate well, impact well, represent the brand, and being strong with the message, and be also, how would I say, be truthful and honest to their values. They want to represent, because sometimes we tend to say we are all, the best in the market, we're the best this, then we need to demonstrate that. I mean, if you're the best clinic or the best this and that, you need to demonstrate that, and that will as a result bring you more business, and your marketing will be more effective because of that.
Definitely.
We could be talking about this topic for hours.
I mean, I think you're so right there, Tony. I think specifically within this industry, trying to appeal on that emotional level within your messaging, so that you really, hit home and relate to your audience, is real gold. If you can nail that, then you'll be, off to a winner there. So yeah, totally agree.
Yeah, well, I know people have been asking, what are the main marketing tactics? What are the main, strategies Lara and Sally would implementing and with the clients, and what would they recommend? So what are the ones that you recommend? Don't need to say all of them, obviously, just a few of them.
What would I recommend? I mean, personalization over the last couple of years has been quite key, because you're personalizing it to the customer. You're closely identifying their behaviors, their attitudes and their beliefs by analyzing all the data that you've got, so that you can tailor your offering around that particular person or business. So I think personalization will continue to grow in popularity. So I think that's a key technique that we should be looking at for clients. So yeah,
and I think for me it's relating back to this experience. So customer experience is now and the future of marketing, and it's always going to be a real hot topic, and it's looking beyond that acquisition and thinking about how you can go above and beyond to over exceed your customers' expectations and provide them with the absolute best service or product out there. Thinking about the user journey, thinking about all touch points. The more you can get this kind of like loyal following, the better, and the more you're going to kind of stand out from competition as well. So I think customer experience for me is just such a big area which is overlooked a bit.
Yeah.
100% agree. I mean, going back to what we discussed earlier on challenges, but then sometimes misconceptions, or business owners focusing only on sales and generating more business rather than focusing on improving the customer experience, improving the website experience if they're selling through the website, everything that is focused on the ideal clients and helping them on how to have a better experience. Have they enjoy the service or the product, during the after experience, after sales experience? So all of that is what they're gonna care about, and it's gonna bring you more.
Yeah.
Focusing only on running Facebook ads or any campaigns, so it's not gonna bring you it's gonna bring you results short term, but it's not gonna be consistent if what happened then is not gonna meet the client's expectations. You could say that you are the best brand for this and that, but then they receive your product or they go to your spa or whatever it is, and then the experience is absolutely not right and it's not good. That's it. They're gonna leave you a bad review. There's gonna be other people not recommending you other people, and then it's not gonna work. So customer experience is one of the tactics. I think it should be even more important than Facebook ads or AdWords or whatever it is.
Yeah.
Because that's all the time. I mean, and you know very well, both of you. I want this running this Facebook ads. I want this running this. First of all, analyze well what you've been doing properly, and then can bring you as many clients as you need.
Well, that's 100%. And I think the other one for me that's really important is taking an integrated approach to your marketing of what you're doing. So not putting all your eggs in one basket. So don't just focus on Facebook. Think about exploring other channels and thinking how they can, I guess, talk to one another and being more efficient with everything that you're doing. So, for instance, you might create one blog article. That blog article might be shared on social media throughout the week. You could break it up into different things. You could share it via email. You could put it on the website. And that's just one piece of content that you have to create. So it's being really smart and thinking how that you can kind of be as efficient as possible, but reinforce the message at the same time. So I think taking an integrated approach is another important one.
Yeah, I totally agree, because, we're finding that clients, they just focus on one area, just PR, for example, or just social media. And in order to be, quite successful, you've got to look at that whole program of different tactics and make sure it's consistent and on brand across all the channels.
It's absolutely key, actually, because we could be talking about this for hours. But then when you say about don't put all the eggs in one basket, if for example, they rely on Instagram, and then the Instagram account, because I had the case, well, not my case, but a client, situation. Then the Instagram account got hacked, right? So all the traffic and is never owned by you, first of all, because it's Instagram who owns it, same as Facebook. Then obviously you know that those days that where your Instagram is down or hacked, you're not generating anything, no inquiries, no whatever, no working. So you need to have your website up and running with some traffic, generating some leads, your Instagram bringing you some inquiries, then your email marketing, your different tactics working at the same time, like a machine, right? Like a machine. It's like a machine, like a big massive machine. And then if one fails for some reason, you will still generating from others, compensating, and then everything will run smoothly and will work smoothly. And then that's how we see it. I mean, as marketers, obviously for us, it's like bread and butter, like they say, right?
Yeah.
But then for people, for some business owners that might be listening to us, they'd be like, oh yeah, it sounds. You gotta take it. You gotta take it seriously, because otherwise, if you rely on one and fails, you'd be suffering, right?
Yeah, definitely.
Cool. So we are almost at the end of the interview, which is quite sad because I'm really enjoying talking to you both, and it's very nice, talking to you. And to be honest, we'd love to be talking more about our stories and saying, because I think that's what people also like to connect with us, right, and get to know more about us. But then in terms of for example, you say marketing strategy and brand strategy. We say before, why they should be aligned. Why mixing one? We already talked about this, but why and why not? Why they need to be all together in one piece?
So they need to be integrated so that you've got a clear, compelling message for your audience, because if it's not clear, it's just going to cause confusion about what your brand stands for, what you're all about. It's just going to confuse people, or they're going to misinterpret what your brand is all about. So it's so important for clarity. I think that's the key, really.
I think for me, so your brand strategy is all about working out, okay, what your proposition is, what your positioning is, what your message is, everything that you stand for. Your marketing is then your vehicle to get that message out to the right audience. Now, to do that in the best way, your marketing plan, which encompasses all of that. Because again, it's about being as efficient as you possibly can and making the best choices. That everything needs to be centered around your customers. It's about being customer orientated, and having a plan and working that out is going to help you achieve that. So they have to talk to one another. If you don't get your brand strategy right, your message isn't going to be right. So therefore, everything that you do in terms of your marketing just isn't going to work, because it's not going to resonate with the right audience. You're not going to select the right channel. Waste a lot of resources, a lot of money, time. So yeah, it really helps with that.
And we know it's all about resources, isn't it? When you run a business, it's about time, it's about team management, it's about budget and sales and benefits and all around the numbers and we from many cases that we could be sharing stories, but I had cases where business owners came to me and this and that, I want to run this and that, but then they didn't even have a proper website, or proper logo, or proper. First, you need to have a plan. You need to design what you're going to want to achieve with that logo, with that brand, with the company. You can't start because when I see it, it makes me laugh, but sometimes I see people trying to sell on social media, you don't need a website, you don't need this to succeed and sell your products, and there is lots of many ways that you can selling you lots of crap, saying you can sell without having website, without having social media, without having this, having that. I mean, yeah, you could, but then what? Then after a few months, what happens? Right? You sold something and then you disappear from the planet. Yeah, so nobody can get back to you. I mean, it's something that we see very often. I don't know if you both obviously notice there's lots of people out there that selling you this, selling you the dream, this and that, and then it's not. It just doesn't work like that, does it?
No,
and I think you're right. It's so much challenging. It's so much more challenging to be heard within, just on social media as an example. It's very crowded. There's a bit of a content crisis, if you like, going on. So it's how you can be heard by the right audience. And to do this, you need to have a strategic head on how you can approach this and get the best out of what you're doing. And just, challenging the why all the time is really going to help.
Yeah, absolutely. I have the last. We almost at the end of this session, but I have two last questions. One is One is related to if I'm a business owner running a healthcare business or any other business, and I'm looking at, I'm scrolling down Instagram, Facebook, or wherever, I'm finding lots of the different marketers selling wherever, but then trying to find an agency or someone like you both, that can help them with the marketing strategy. What do they need to look at? Do they need to look at expertise? Do they need to look at, because obviously there are, like you said before, there are lots of people promising lots of stuff, but then not delivering, and that could, that could affect marketers, but affect also people that are hiring these people.
Yeah, no. So
I mean, there's lots. Yeah, sorry, you go, Sal.
You go, Lara. You go.
Sorry, I was putting you up there, wasn't I? Yeah, for me, there's a number of different things that you can look at. So, number one, have they got a website? Have they got reviews of reputable companies that you can go and look at? What's the kind of experience that they've got within marketing? So how many years experience have they got? What brands have they worked with? What's their background? And what are their qualifications as well? So are they a member of the Chartered Institute of Marketing? Have they done any qualifications like this? Have they got a degree? I know it's not all about having a degree, but it certainly adds to it and helps. But yeah, for me, testimonials, word of mouth is probably the biggest thing. And, if you see one of the reviews and you recognize one of the companies, ring them up and just ask them how, just because that's the other thing you have to watch out for. There's a lot of fake reviews at the moment. So for me, I'd do some really solid research, and I'd probably get in touch with them as well, just to make sure. And take a look at, their social media pages, look at their website. How does it look to you? Does it look like it's done by a professional? Because someone's selling marketing and their website doesn't look great, then that's a bit of a worry. And look at their social channels. Are they getting, if no one's engaging with any of their posts and they're looking to run your social media for you, then again, alarm bells would ring for me there as well. So yeah, is there anything that you thought, Sal?
I totally agree with what you're saying. Experience, look at testimonials, and ask what the success rate was. What was the results of the back of that campaign? Because that indicates that they've spent the time measuring the success. Because like we said earlier, you can do the best marketing campaign in the world, but unless you measure it to see what the success rate was, it means nothing really. So did they measure the campaign? Ask what the results were if they are willing to share that with you. But I think that's important. But yeah, do your research. Like Lara said, have they got a website? What's their social media channels like? What's the look and feel and the tone of voice that they're using? And getting to know the people that work at that agency or marketing company. Are you going to have a great relationship with them because you're going to be working together on this? So that's quite important as well, getting to know the people behind that brand.
Yeah. I think you're completely right there, Sal. The more time you put into kind of appointing the right partner or agency, the better the outcome you're going to be. So give them as much information as possible. Again, what we were saying before, don't just rely on one agency. Look at a selection of 3, 4, 5, put out to all of them what you're after and get them to pitch for you and see who's the best fit for you. But it's also about how you work together. So make sure that they take the reins and put in loads of meetings and communicate with you well, because it's all about working together. And if you don't have a solid relationship or partnership right from the get-go, then again, alarm bells would be ringing for me.
Yeah, I mean, brilliant responses there. I mean, I couldn't add more to that, because first, doing a diligence is important. If you're going to hire someone, a marketer or anyone, I mean, any profession really, but marketing, I mean, like I say, my question was completely off the script. But then it was more like because of that, because I see lots of people, I've been working with this guy, whatever. In some ways, I like what you say, the results, but the results comparing with you say like, okay, this is someone that generated results, but then people showing sometimes results that are fake or not real or not actually relatable. So that's important, and the testimonials, and and working with people that you kind of know, someone worked before, it always helps, because it's about the people, it's about trusting the people, it's about trusting the people that you're working with, and that's amazing. And we get into the very last question, and it's not a question, is if the people that listening or watching, if they like to follow you, get to know more about Sally, Lara, can you share with them, or can you tell them where to find you?
Yeah, so we've not got our Lara website up and running yet, but you can visit our website at www.laradenny.com. We're on all social channels. I think LinkedIn is probably the one that you'll find me most active. So that's at Lara Denny, and then we've got at Lara Denny Marketing on Instagram and Facebook as well. Yeah.
Cool. Any last thoughts? Anything you like to say? You add to everyone and say that now is your moment.
Well, I think Lara and I hope that this afternoon's been insightful and thought-provoking, made you think where are we currently with our marketing plan or strategy. And like we said before, if you haven't got a marketing plan or strategy, now is a really good time to get that underway. And there's lots of support out there that can help you with it if you're not sure how to approach it. And like we said, just do your research to make sure that they are the right people that should be working on that with you. So but yes, thank you very much for this afternoon. It's been great.
Likewise. Yeah, thanks, Tony.
Yeah, well,
thank you very much.
I just like to say, well, before obviously we finished this interview, it's been a pleasure. I really appreciate you both, obviously, accepting spending your time to share your knowledge and your experience and your story. Wish we could have more of those, or had more time because I like when we talk about stories and experiences, it's lost to talk. I mean, it's in less than an hour session, it's not enough time, right? Actually. I know you are very busy people, and I appreciate your time, also it's lovely to be it's absolutely amazing to be working with professionals like you, and grateful for that. And you take care, and tell everyone who is listening or to follow you and follow you closely, because they're going to learn so much stuff, and it's their businesses are going to for sure benefit from it. So take care, everyone, and see you both, Sally and Lara. Bye. Take care. Thank you.
Bye.
See you, everyone.
Thanks.
Bye.
Bye.